All right, I want to do a couple more examples of elimination, and we'll be done with the elimination method. Now, turn to page 7. I've got 3 problems I've identified. I said I was going to do one. I'm not going to work one of them all the way through. We're just going to set it up. All right, let's look at page 7. Now, the directions at the top of page 7 says you could use whichever method you want for these, elimination or substitution. Okay, I'm going to work number 7 by substitution. However, if I were to pick any method I want, I would do elimination because you've already got opposites. However, I'm going to show you that this can also be done by substitution. Now, which variable, remember, if you're going to do substitution, the key word is isolate. Now, you can isolate X or Y. Which variable, this X, this Y, this X, or this Y, is the easiest one to isolate? Which one looks easiest? You have 4 choices. Me, I'm going to pick this X right here because all I have to do is move the Y over. This Y would also be easy. You could just move the 3X over. This Y would be a little bit worse because you would move the X over, but you'd still have to get rid of the negative. So I'm going to pick this X to get by itself. So let's look at X minus Y equals 10. I want to isolate this X. All you have to do is move the Y over. When you move the Y over, it becomes a positive Y. Remember, you don't have to get Y by itself. You can get Y or X. So now my X is isolated. I'm going to circle that variable in the other equation. And now you're going to copy that equation over and leave out the X. And what are you going to put in its place? Well, what is X equal to? If you look over here, X is the same thing as Y plus 10. So you're going to put Y plus 10 right there. And again, you're going to distribute 3Y plus 30 plus Y equals 18. Now, if you solve that, you know how to solve that. You can combine like terms. That is going to be, you're going to get Y equals -3. I left some steps out, but you know how to do that. Now, where's the easiest place to plug that back in? Do you have to go up to one of these 2 equations? Actually, no. You can go to the equation where you got X by itself. That's the easiest one to use. X equals, just plug in -3 right there where you see the Y. -3 plus 10 is X is equal to 7. What's the best way to write the answer? As a point. All right. Now let's look at number 9. All right. This Y right here is almost isolated. The only thing I need to do is get rid of the 4. I have to divide everything by 4. Y is equal to. Now, 2 over 4, that's 1/2, but you could write 0.5. That's the same thing. Minus 2. Now the Y is by itself. Circle the Y in the other equation. Circle it right there. Make sure you circle it in the other equation. You're going to replace that Y with 0.5x minus 2. Don't let that decimal scare you, because when you distribute, 4 times 0.5 is just 2. And then -4 times -2, that's a +8. All right. You know how to finish that problem. I'm not going to finish it for you. You know how to combine like terms. But when you solve it, it's going to be 3x equals 12. You're going to get x equals 4. And when you plug that back in, you're going to get y equals 0. All right. So the answer is going to be 4, 0. I left some of the steps out, but I expect you to be able to solve that yourself. Finally, the last one, number 11. I'm going to get this y by itself. This y is almost isolated, but why is that y not isolated? It still has a negative in front. You cannot have a negative in front. So how do you get rid of a negative? You divide everything by -1. y equals 2 divided by negative 1 is negative 2x. 10 divided by 1 is negative 10. Now this y is isolated. Now circle that in the other equation. You're going to circle it right here, and you're going to go 2x plus, put parentheses where that y used to be, and you're going to replace it with what y is equal to. It's equal to negative 2x minus 10. Now there is a 1 in front. Distribute the 1. 2x minus 2x, and positive 1 times negative 10 is negative 10. Uh-oh. What happened? What happened? The variables canceled. There are no variables left. All right. Look at what's left. There's no variables now. We did that in another video. Look at that. Is that a true statement or a false statement? Is negative 10 equal to negative 10? That is a true statement. And what do you write down when it's a true statement? You write down infinite solutions. Infinite solutions.